Good morning, CLC. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your energy, your light. Thank you for loving yourself exactly who and how you are. Now, in this moment and at this time, I invite you to join me in spreading that love through you into the ethers for the world. If you feel so inclined, go ahead and take a nice deep cleansing breath in, breathing in all the love and light that surrounds you. And as you release the breath, release all that no longer serves you. In this moment, just let go of any doubt, any tension, any stress, any anxiety. Take another nice deep cleansing breath in. And as you release the breath, allow your body to relax in this moment. And allow your mind to be here now. Universal love enfolds me. Universal wisdom inspires me. Universal spirit enlightens me. Universal power encircles me. I am one, and all is well. As we begin this inner healing process, let me invite you to relax in quiet confidence, opening yourself up to the miracle-working higher power. Now symbolize the unity of your thinking and feeling nature by touching your chest with your hand, and let my words act as your own for your own inner healing, acceptance, and receptivity. I acknowledge that there is a power, intelligence, and wisdom greater than my own. I am in the midst of it, and it is in the midst of me, sensitive and responsive to my every thought, word, action, and feeling. I now make this true for myself by saying aloud, I acknowledge. Acknowledging this higher power working through my life, I admit that I am personally responsible for solving my own problems while being guided and assisted by something greater than myself. As I am ready to surrender the conflicts of my ego to the wisdom of this infinite presence, I simply speak these words: I surrender. Knowing that forgiveness is the key to unconditional love and the feeling of heaven, I now unconditionally forgive anyone and everyone who has ever injured me in any way, real or imagined. And I now forgive myself for all of my mistaken judgments and their resulting actions. From my deepest level of understanding, I now say, I forgive. Realizing that I continually experience the effects of my own thinking, I now choose to allow this higher power to recreate me deeply, filling my mind with thoughts that are only positive, constructive, loving, and beautiful. I call upon this divine inflow by stating aloud, I choose. I now center upon that one very special idea that I'm willing to accept as real for me in this coming week. Visualizing that idea as already acted upon and brought to pass. In seeing my idea become a fact of my experience, I enjoy the happiness and peace of my thought fulfilled and gratefully speak these words. I accept. Knowing that I have an everlasting place in the midst of the power that sustains all creation, as well as the support of all those around me. I allow myself to relax in the peace of fulfillment and gratitude and say, I release. Now, in my mind's eye, I envision the presence of someone near and dear to me. This could be a friend, a family member, a teacher or mentor, someone who has touched my life in deep and loving ways. Someone who may not be physically present in this room or even on this planet anymore. I turn to that image in my mind's eye and say, I'm grateful for the good in your life. Now I open my eyes, turn to the world around me, and joyfully speak to anyone physically present in this room or virtually on this broadcast, and share in confidence and gratitude in saying, I'm grateful for the good in your lives.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to bring you back. And good morning to you that are watching at home. Definitely, we are grateful to have you to join us. Today is a great day. How many of y'all believe that? Oh, yeah. Today is a great day. And I say today is a great day because it is a great day. Try missing one. Yeah, try missing one, right? And really, that's a great mindset to have because no matter what happens, if we are alive and we are breathing, guess what? We can make it through it. And if we kind of have a life together anyway, the day that we don't wake up, that's a great day as well because we have transcended into a higher experience. I'm overly excited to be here with you today. I say overly excited to be here with you because I am. And I definitely want to thank my big brother, Jesse Jennings, our, I say fearless leader, fearless, exactly, for the opportunity to be here and for the great introduction that he gave on last Sunday. And although he's not here, he definitely introduced me on last Sunday, and so did David. And David said, I've been talking about you, and you've got to live up to everything I've said. I said, okay, David, no pressure, no pressure. So I definitely want to appreciate the both of those men for their words on last Sunday. And once again, appreciate you for being here on today. And there was an opening song that Melody sang, and it said this, and as I thought about it, I was like, wow. Do y'all remember what it was? I thought you'd never ask. Well, okay. The song went like this, that I love myself just the way I am. Repeat after me. Say, I love myself just the way I am. Let's say it one more time. Say, I love myself just the way I am. And we're going to say it one more time for those of you that are at home. They're catching up with us, right? Say, I love myself just the way I am. I don't know why y'all were not shouting that. I don't know why y'all were not shouting that. And as the song was being played, Melody was singing, I thought about that. You know, I do love myself just the way that I am. But you know what, Tom? I love myself so much that I can't leave myself the way I am. Yes, Baz, I love myself so much that I can't leave myself the way I am. Because I understand what I am now is God's gift to me, Jeffrey. But what I make of myself is my gift back to God. So yes, I love myself just the way I am, but I love myself so much more that I cannot remain the way that I am. I don't know if that resonates with anybody, but each and every day that we have an opportunity to wake up and breathe, right, the desire should be to be better than we were the day before. Would you not agree? Yeah. I mean, I don't know why we would not want to do that. Tell me, what else is there to do? What else is there to go for if we're not seeking to be better than we were the day before? Because we leave so much on the table when we don't choose to do that. And today we have an exciting and, I say exciting and inspiring, perhaps, message that I want to share with us. And not going to be very long, but my big brother did text me this morning, and he said, Arthur, no, he didn't. Let me put it like this. He said, little bro. We go by big brother, little brother, right? And he said, have yourself a creative life type of day. It resonated with me. It resonated with me. So I just want you to join me in having a creative life type of day. Should not every day be a creative life type of day? Yes. I mean, it should be, because if not, it's just a duplication of yesterday. And I go back to my point, right? Shouldn't I desire to be better today than I was yesterday? Oh, yes. Oh, can somebody say that again? Say, oh, yeah. Say, oh, yes. Exactly. Oh, yes, exactly. Once again, why not, right? But here is the deal. Here is the deal, and what we're going to talk about, and it's this. We're going to talk about the power of decision. Someone say decision. Come on, say decision. Okay, good, y'all. We're going to have to talk back to each other here. We're going to do like some call and response. I'm going to talk to you. You're going to talk to me, and we're going to talk to the people online, right? So we're going to talk about the power of decision. The power of decision. The power of decision. And the power of decision, it rests right with the two statements that we've made thus far, is that I love myself so much that I cannot stay the way I am. So if I'm going to be any better than I am, it's because I made a what? Decision. Come on, talk to me. I made a what? A decision, exactly. Didn't you just now sing the song that it's intentional, right? That all things are working for my good. Why? Because it is intentional. That's a mindset, right? And because that's my mindset, it's just like this thermostat right here. If I set it on 70, guess what? The temperature in the room is going to reach 70, and then something is going to turn off, right? If it gets above that and it's set at 70, guess what? Something in the room is going to turn on. So guess what, Sasha? Our life is a result of the temperature that we've set on the thermostat. Yes. The question is, have you set it intentionally, or have you allowed someone else or something else to set the thermostat? And the decisions that we make determine what shows up on the thermostat, David. So let me just ask you this question. Can I ask you this question? Yes. Okay, good. Okay, good. And we're just having class. We're just having a little class. And I want you to think about it. Right here and right now, is there a decision that you can make that will change, alter, and or improve the quality of your life? I'm going to ask the question again, give you a little time to meditate on it, to allow it to marinate so that it can resonate. I'll ask it one more time. Right here and right now, and those of you who are watching, is there a decision that you can make that will change, alter, and or improve the quality of your life? Just by show of hands, if there is, just raise your hand. Okay, good. And if you're breathing, you should have raised your hand. Right. If you're breathing, you should have raised your hand, right? Because we perhaps set the foundation that the desire should be to be better than I was yesterday. The desire should be to maximize my potential, to be all that God created me to be all that God called me to be. You know, the Army, as y'all know, I did 10 years in the military, Air Force, but the Army say, be all you can be. No, they just kind of snatched that. They just kind of snatched that from God. you know what I mean? But really, we can take that on, that my desire is to be all that I can be. My desire is to be all that God created me to be, because why would I waste any potential? But that's going to be a result of the decision that I choose to make. And all of you raise your hand, and you said, and I raise my hand with you, right? There is some thing that I can decide on today to change, to alter, and or improve my life. So here is the question. Why haven't I made that decision? Okay, good. I love it. We're having class, and I know someone at home probably said the same thing that one of our students said today in the house. See, y'all got to get to the house, because this is where it's happening, inside the Creative Life Spiritual Center, right? They said hard. Somebody said it's hard, and you know what I like to say about that? When it's hard, you have to do it hard, right? Because oftentimes, we really want it, Babs, to be easier. And perhaps our prayer is, God, can you make it easier? And perhaps that's not the prayer. Perhaps the prayer is that give me more wisdom, give me more skill, give me more strength, give me more endurance to handle this that's in front of me, so that I can become. Because guess what? It does not take much, and it does not make much of us for it to be easy. I wish it was another way. I wish it was another way. But I don't know, because I'm not, and I know my good friend Reverend Lisa, I think she has a degree maybe in anthropology, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm probably all out of my lane about what I'm about to say, but I don't know what it takes for a tree to become a tree. I don't know what it takes for that seed to do what it does underground, and to break dirt, and to have to go through all of that's underneath in order for it to rise, in order for it to become. But because it doesn't have a choice, because it doesn't have to make a decision, it goes about doing it. But guess what? You and I can make a decision. We can decide to be, or we can decide not to be. We can decide to go, or we can decide not to go. We can decide to succeed, or we can decide to fail. But you know what? What decision will you make? Because nothing happens until the decision is made. Today we're talking about the power of decision. The power of decision. Someone say power. Power. Decision. Exactly. Because that's where the power is. It's in the decision. And it's making the decision. I wanted to get someone to help me teach this. So I went looking for a job. I mean, Job. I found Job in the Bible, right? It's right there in 22 and 28. It says something very powerful. And I want you to hear me. And I know I said Bible, and many of us have a different connotation about the Bible, but there's some good stuff in it, right? And it simply said this, in that very first portion of Job 22 and 28. It says, you shall decide on a matter. You shall decide on a matter. You shall decide on a matter. So if we don't decide, perhaps nothing happens. Because I think Ralph Waldo Emerson said it like this, and it was very powerful, Babs. He said this along the lines of decision. He said this, that the only person that you're going to be is the person that you decide to be. The only person that you're destined to be is the person that you decide to be. So that if you don't decide much, you perhaps don't become much. Which is why he also said this, that when you make a decision, and it's not a broke record, I'm being intentional. When you make a decision, right, the universe conspires to make it happen. Come on, Bab, say that again. Say, yes, yes. The universe conspires to make it happen, but not until I make a decision. So if nothing has happened in my life, maybe I've not made a decision. I know it's tight, but as we would say, it's tight, but it's right. Sometimes good medicine is like that. Grandma said this, it don't taste good, but it's good for you. And sometimes that's what the truth is. It doesn't taste good, but it's good for us if we take it. Because my elder brother said it like this, that you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Because if not, I live less than the truth. And I'll never live my best. Because I have to be able to embrace the truth, however it tastes, however it looks. But once I can digest it and process it, I can then benefit from it and move forward. So the power of decision, this particular talk is, I say, inspired by, taking thoughts from, loosely, a book by the title, The Power of Decision, by Raymond Barker. If y'all remember, back in June, Jesse did a whole series, not necessarily on that book, I think it was Successful Living, but he utilized some of the thoughts from Dr. Barker. And both Jesse and I are fond of Dr. Barker, and we were talking about, he said, what are you going to talk about, little bro? And I said, I think I want to talk about this. And he shot me and said, hey, yeah, that's great. I love that. I got that book too. And I thought about it, yeah, because nothing happens unless a decision is made. So Job was right when he says you shall decide on a matter, because if you don't decide, nothing happens. But let me ask y'all this question, because remember I raised my hand, and I asked you to raise your hand if there was a decision that you perhaps could make that would change, alter, and or improve the course of your life. And then I asked us the question, why have we not perhaps made that decision? And then we heard that it's hard, right? And so now we are suffering from indecision. We're suffering from indecision. And indecision is oftentimes like being faced perhaps with a fork in front of us. We're at a fork in the road, and we're standing there, and I see some heads nodding, and we're looking for a sign, wishing for a sign, hoping for a sign, and there's a voice whispering saying, choose. It's simply saying choose, 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 choose. But once again, we just kind of stay standing there between making a decision, not making a decision, making a decision, not making a decision, and not realizing that life is passing us by. Time is wasting away, and we're finding ourselves guilty of indecision. And this is something Dr. Raymond Barker said about indecision, and I just want to share it with you and see what you think about it. He said this. He said that indecision is an individual's decision to fail. I know it's tight, it's right, and it's hard. Right? And as we know, Dr. Barker shot straight. That was one of his profound profundities. He shot straight. He didn't sugarcoat it. And he said indecision is an individual's decision to fail. Because if you're not deciding, guess what? You're not making much of anything else. Nothing else is happening. And perhaps opportunity is passing by. Perhaps advancement is passing by. Perhaps health is passing by. Perhaps joy is passing by. Perhaps success is passing by. Because you never decided to be success. You never decided to be joyful. You've never decided to be healthy. So those opportunities, I see you, Sasha, just pass you by. But once you decide, guess what? Things begin to change. Things begin to change. Things begin to happen once you decide. But if we don't decide, nothing happens. And then we wonder, why isn't anything happening? We have to ask ourselves, have I made a decision? So remember, if you're at a fork in the road and there's indecision and you're waiting for this whisper, okay, life is saying choose. And I once again needed an assistant on this particular point, and Isaiah began to talk to him and said, you know what, this is what I encountered. I'm going to share with you. And he says it like this, Isaiah 30 and 21. He says it like this. He says, whether you turn to the left or you turn to the right, there'll be a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. Whether you turn to the left or whether you turn to the right, there'll be a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. That's that still small voice saying choose, saying go, saying do, saying be, saying become. But guess what? We're not a tree. So we get to choose. We get to choose to follow it, or we get to choose not to follow it. But what we have to realize is that we are creating our own life experience by the decisions that we make, don't make, or allow others to make for us. Because where we are today is a result of the decisions that we've made in the past. And where we be tomorrow will be a choice based on the decisions that we make today. Would y'all not agree? If you agree, raise your hand. I just want to see. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, absolutely. And because whether we agree with it or not is still a fact. Right? So the best thing we can do is just agree so that we can see better. Right? Just agree so that we can hear better. Because whether you agree with it or not, where you show up tomorrow is going to be a result of what you chose today, or what you did not choose, or what you allow someone else to choose for you. Because Ernest Holmes said it like this: we cannot live a choiceless life. We cannot live a choiceless life. Meaning every choice that we make is making something for us and making something out of us. And if we want to become better, we've got to make better choices. If we want better, we have to make better choices. But it all begins with making, someone say the word D. Come on, say it loud. Oh, come on, say it one more time. Decision. Decision. I know by the time we leave, decision is going to be ringing in our ear. We're going to get home, and we're going to talk to the cat, and the cat going to say, what happened? And you're going to say, I decided. You're going to talk to the dog say, what happened at church? I decided. And then the dog is going to want to come next Sunday. Jessica going to be like, where did all these animals come from? Hey, I got to go see what's going on. Yeah, because mom and daddy came home with a whole different fire about themselves because they made a decision. So once again, what's that decision that you need to make? Because nothing happens until we make a decision. Because Job said, hey, what you decide on. So know that nothing happens until I make a decision. And decision is, well, it's just that it's a decision. It doesn't give us any other options. It's different from a choice. When is the last time you took a multiple decision test? No, it's a multiple choice test, right? Because you get an A, B, C, or D. Because when you make a decision, you cut yourself off from any other alternative. You cut yourself off from any other option, because decision comes from the Latin word decadere, which means to cut off. So when I truly make a decision, I've cut myself off from any other alternative. There is no going back once I make a decision. There is no turning around once I make a decision. But once I make a choice, okay, I can go back to A. Let me drop down to C. Let me see what D is like. But once we've made a decision, it's only one choice that's left. And it's the choice that supports that decision. The choice that supports that decision. Repeat after me. Say, I decide. For clarity. I decide for power. Right? Because the universe does not deal with uncertainty. It deals with clarity. When you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. He didn't say when you make a choice. He said when you make a decision. Because what happens is when we make a decision, guess what? We now line up, Tom, our thoughts and our feelings and our actions in one direction, Sharon. When we make a decision, Danielle, the thoughts and the feelings and the actions line up with that decision. So it's like we have this thrust of energy behind us, supporting us, pushing us, pulling us, Why? Simply because we made the decision. Secondly, the power of decision. Not only must we make a decision, but we need to be able to visualize it. So first I decided. And then secondly, I must visualize it. Because Job said it like this. He said, you shall decide on a matter. And that B portion, it says, it will be established for you. It will be established for you. You will decide on a matter, and it will be established for you. Well, when we visualize, we make it real in consciousness. We make it real in consciousness. And it's almost what Ernest Holmes would call a mental equivalent. How many of us are familiar with a mental equivalent? If we know what we believe, if we know our teaching, it becomes a mental equivalent. We have a picture of what that looks like. We have an image of what this decision looks like. So do this for me real quickly, close your eyes. And I want you to bring to mind that decision that you said you needed to make. The one that would change, alter, and improve the quality of your life. Now, I want you to create an image of that decision. I want you to see that decision in action. I want you to see that decision playing on the stage of your mind, on the stage of your imagination. And I want you to affirm to yourself, I see it, I have it, it's mine now. Open your eyes. And I want you to tell somebody, and so it is. Come on, tell them like you mean it, and so it is. We should be excited. Because visualization is a powerful principle. Athletes use it. Many college athletes probably used it for yesterday's first game. Visionaries use it before they create an invention. They create mental prototypes. And then they create the physical prototype. And then they create the actual object or item. Because everything is created twice. First, mental, and then it's created in form. So this is why we want to be able to see ourselves experiencing this decision. Job says it will be established unto you. It'll be made real in your consciousness. You'll have a mental equivalent of that particular decision, that particular reality. So I decide. Then I visualize. And there's one more thing. Because the book I love to read says it like this, that the universe or God cannot be mocked. For whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So if I don't do anything, I won't have anything. I can think about it all day long. I can talk about it all day long. But if I don't do anything, nothing is going to show up. So the last point, when we talk about the power of decision, and if I had given this a subtitle, it would probably be how to create the life you choose. How to create the you desire to be. The last thing that we must do, not only must we decide it, not only must we visualize it, the last thing that we must do is we must do what's necessary to make it a reality. We must do what's necessary to make it a reality. Because if we don't do anything, once again, nothing happens. But if we do something, something is bound to happen. He says it like this as he closes out that particular scripture. He says, you shall decide on a matter, and it will be established unto you. And he says, and light will shine on your ways. He says, light will shine on your ways, on your work, on your efforts. Light will shine on your ways. The insight that's needed, the intelligence that's needed, the know-how that's needed. As you get started, light will shine on your ways. It's almost like driving and you're going down the street and it's dark, okay? Well, at least I know the heavens are working with me today. We're in sync, right? So it's dark. It's dark. And what do we do if we're going down a dark street? And turn on the lights. We don't have to see what's all the way down the road. We just have to see what's in front of us. Perhaps the next millimeter. Perhaps just the next step. But the car has to be moving. We have to be moving. And have just enough light for the next step. I was talking with my dad, and he was sharing with me, he has almost a classic vehicle, and the bright portion of his lights stopped working. But the regular lights work, the low beam. I said, hey, have you gotten that checked out yet? He said, no, not just yet. He said, but you know what, Junior? Call me Junior. He says, I have enough light to get where I need to go. Somebody going to catch that on the way home. He says, I have enough light to get where I need to go. And I believe that the universe will shine enough light for us to get to where we need to go. But we have to have somewhere to go. We have to have made a decision. We have to have seen it, have visualized it. And now we have to be taking action toward it. Daily action. So when I say do what's necessary to create what you want, it's aligning the daily actions with the decision that was made. So if I've made a decision to be healthy, every choice should support that decision. And really the choice now becomes easy because I made the decision. But if I never made the decision to be healthy, oh, you got some cake? Oh, cool. You got some potato chips? Oh, cool. You got some candy? Oh, yes. Because I never made a decision. So everything now becomes an option. But once I make a decision, there are only a few things that will line up with that decision. And now I'm certain of manifesting the thing that I want because I'm now working in concert with God and not against God. I'm working with nature and not against nature. I've sown the seed. I'm watering it. I'm fertilizing it. I'm keeping the weeds out. I can expect something to come out of the ground. I can expect exactly what I sowed to come up. I don't sow lemon seeds expecting apples. I'm expecting an apple tree. But if I'm doing my part, guess what? God will definitely do his part. And he says, just sow the seed. It says. I definitely like to be right in that regard. God, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it. Just sow the seed. Let me create the tree. You just sow the seed. You just keep the weeds out. From time to time, I'll send some rain. But if I've not sent any rain, I want you to go get some water and water it. Because we're working in concert. Hi. Okay, the rain's coming. We better hurry up and get out of here so we can get home. God's probably saying, okay, I'm trying to give you some time, Johnson, so you can get done and everybody can get home before I let it really come down. So let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. And let's bring it all together. Decision without vision is confusion. Decision without vision is confusion. Vision without action is an illusion. It's not real. Nothing's happening. I say I want it. I say I need it. I talk about it, but I don't do it. It's an illusion. It's not going to happen. When is the last time Publishers Clearinghouse came to your house and gave you $1 million check and you never entered the drawing? It's not happening. But decision with vision plus action is creation. My big brother say, have a creative life type of day. I think that's the formula right there. Decision plus vision plus action equals creation. So basically, I've created an acronym, so to speak, taking the first letter from each one of our points, and perhaps it'll help you remember it on tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Decide, visualize, do. What does that spell? Say it again. Come on, say it again. DVD. DVD. And that's what we get to create, a DVD. Now, this is a DVD. And you may be sitting there saying, oh, we got streaming. They don't sell DVDs anymore. They don't make DVDs anymore. I checked this morning just to make sure. So if our tech team is checking, y'all can check and see. They're still being sold at Walmart on aisle A21. Yeah, and they're still being made in Hollywood, and Sony is still producing movies on DVD. Because although we have all of the technology and the streaming, right, there's still a large portion of America still using DVD players and DVDs. And Walmart even sell DVD players. I checked for you in case you wanted to go home and get one. But this is a DVD. This is my favorite DVD. And this particular movie is called Focus. Focus. And for me, focus is like follow one course until successful. That's what's on this DVD. It says focus. So the directors and so forth created a whole movie and put it on this DVD. And they called it Focus. So if you had a blank DVD, what would be on your DVD? What decision would show up on it? What vision would show up on it? What set of actions would show up on your DVD? And as I looked, they still have all the different genres. From horror, sci-fi. So what kind of DVD you want to make? It's yours. It doesn't have to be horror. It could be prosperity. It could be success. It could be joy. I see somebody going to get a DVD now. I heard it. I heard it. But you get to write whatever you want on your DVD. The DVD is your mind. Because nothing moves unless mind moves. That's what Ernest Holmes said. He said, if you see someone that's not moving, if you see someone that's not active, you see a mind that's not active. And many of us have been MIA, missing in action, instead of having MIA, mind in action. But hopefully today we walk away and make a decision. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell anyone else. But you know the decision that will change, alter, and improve not just your life now, but the rest of your life. Today is the day. Now is the time. Don't walk in like you came. And those of you that are tuning in, don't log off like you logged on. Because when you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. Let us seal this with this affirmation. And Jeffrey, you can start playing. And repeat after me if you will. Today, right here, and right now, I claim my power of decision. I decide boldly. I see clearly. I act faithfully, and light shines on my ways. Amen. And so it is. Thank you.
I really don't like the lectern there. As confirmation of what you were saying, Reverend Arthur, Barbara just said thank you. She said, I made a decision last night, and this confirms it. Thank you very much. That's cool. There's also one thing you got to remember. When you speak into creative life, we have a lot of ex-Catholics here. And Catholics, by nature, do not respond during the service unless it's part of the formula. Right? And some of the front row as well, you know, besides myself. Okay. Next Sunday is our community hour. Please come for that. I encourage you. It's always great when we can just share some food, share some conversation. It's kind of cool. Let me see what else is going on. The watering hole, that's the men's group, meets on Sundays at 6 p.m. There's more info in the weekly email. Creative Life, hang on a second. The monthly writers group meets on September 6th, and that is at 11 till 12:30, and there's more info in the email about that. Let me see, coming up. See, I have to rely, like Danielle, I have to rely on my phone. Lisa and Jesse just rely on their brains, you know, but, you know, we use our phones, right? I do. Yeah. Okay, advanced consciousness studies, it used to be called Practitioner 1. That's starting in the near future. It's actually starting on Wednesdays, September 10th, so that's coming up pretty quickly. So if you're interested in that, you need to let us know. Self-Mastery with Reverend Dana Votes is also starting on October 2nd, so check that one out. Reverend Jesse is doing Emma Curtis Hopkins. If you've never heard of Emma Curtis Hopkins, or you don't know much about her, this is a great course. The highest working power, and that's starting in November. And everything else is in the email. And I just want to once again thank Reverend Arthur, because, you know, I kept telling you won't go to sleep when he's talking, and Reverend Jesse also said that the information he gives us is practical, it's useful, it isn't academic, it's something that you really use. So just remember his acronym, which is FOCUS, right? And DVD. Yeah, I thought DVDs had kind of gone out, but anyway. You know. Actually, I thought it was my name, David V. Dewhurst. You know, but that's another story. Okay, you now have a decision to make as we come up to giving time, and as Chip makes his way to the center. Oh, Chip has got his begging basket in his hand.
It is not a begging basket. Don't call me that. It's a
A gratitude basket. All right, listen, I may have been in New Thought for quite a while now, but a lot of the Catholic stuff still hangs on, you know? Right? In the Catholic Church, it's a begging bowl. Here, it's not, it's a gift. Right? So let's all say together now. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. I am prosperous now, and so it is.
Reverend Arthur wanted the stand. David did not. I'm not allowed to touch it because I might shock myself and then spark the microphone. But here's what I'm going to, I think it's so funny that you used the reap and sow line, because I've been reading the Living the Science of Mind, which I've taken to calling the FAQ. I don't know if you've read it front to back, which I now almost have. Wednesday will be my last one. The Frequently Asked Questions of Science of Mind. That's the Living the Science of Mind book. It's an amazing book. But within the last week, he wrote an essay on that. He quoted the Living you will reap until you will reap what you sow. But he added another line to it, and I went, what? You will reap until you will reap what you sow, as long as you sow it. Okay? Which means you're going to keep reaping what you're sowing until you make a different decision. And I went, that was earth-shattering for me. I'd never thought about that. It's like we keep planting the same thing over and over again, and we wonder, like, are we tired of barley now? Maybe we should plant wheat or corn or grapes. You know, we're going to keep reaping what we're sowing until we make a different decision. So when you said that, I was like, oh, I got it. I got it. I like to say when Reverend Arthur comes, he raises the roof and brings the house down. Fortunately, we get it put right back up, so when Jesse comes back, it's all back in place. All right. Oh, Monty is the practitioner online. Thank you very much. Okay, but go to the Zoom room. Now, my favorite part of this is I get to do a treatment to release you out into, well, I don't know what it's doing out there. I get to release you out into the weather. But what I get to do is invite you to consciously step with me into the sacred. It is all sacred all the time. But when we set aside that moment to do a treatment, we are consciously entering into the sacred. We are knowing that there is one life. There is one power. There is one presence. There is one love. And as I am a manifestation of that power, that presence, that life, that love, so too do I know that each and every one of you are. As we walk into this week, what I know is that we will make decisions confidently and comfortably, because we know that these decisions will be guided. That as we make these decisions, the light gets flipped on, and we can see the next step, and the step after that, and the step after that. That we know that we will never be left to stumble in the darkness once we have made that decision. Because that life flows through us, that power flows through us. That one mind moves in us as we move with it. And this is what I know with the depth of my being and all of the gratitude in me. I am grateful for a teaching that reminds me who I am. I am grateful for a community that comes together to remind each other. I am grateful for our musicians, our ministers, our practitioners, for each and every one of you. I am grateful for the technology that allows us to send this out into the ethers. And I am grateful to know that I am not going to walk out of here like I walked in. And neither are you. And I relax into this knowing, releasing my word into that law with love, calling it done, and so it is.
Say it with me now. Something wonderful
Something wonderful
is happening through me.
is happening through me.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my mind.
I feel it in my mind.
I feel it in everything I am.
I feel it in everything I am.
I choose it.
I choose it.
I trust it.
I trust it.
I use it.
I use it.
And I love it.
I love it.
And so it is.
And so it is.